the one they call the Black Six.
Oh, great. The Black Six. Here's a purchase that takes me back to the days when the Meyer superstores used to stock dollar DVDs in their checkout aisles.
That just always seemed shocking to me, because it wasn't like we were seeing some standard mainstream fare sitting there waiting to get our attention, but this huge corporation with stores all over the fucking place would want to get more of our hard-earned money by tempting us with movies from Diamond Entertainment.
You know, the dollar DVD company that releases edited versions of movies like Pieces, Slave of the Cannibal God, Death Rides a Horse, and The Black Six.
Not only that, it comes on a double feature DVD, so technically the movie cost me about 50 cents. That is really, really fucking expensive. The other movie on the disc is The Black Gestapo. Maybe I'll get to this one someday, but for right now, I'll just say that it stars Mac from Night Court as a fascist gang leader. Trust me, The Black Six is a hell of a lot worse. I mean, Black Six is a movie that is so fucking amateurish that it makes TNT Jackson look like The Color Purple.
The movie is part blaxploitation film, part biker film, and all bear dung. It's just a big walking, talking gimmick. Get 6 pro football players to headline a low-budget action film and give them motorcycles to ride on. Seriously, this movie wouldn't make it past the playoffs, even if the opposing team was a chick flick starring the New York Jets. The beginning of the film opens with a racial hate crime on a football field. A young black high school football player is caught dating a young white girl, and her brother and his band of bikers surround the kid on the field and proceed to beat him with chains until he's dead. Fade away, the Waka Chicka music, which sounds a little bit like John Tesh doing the Superfly theme, begins to play, and immediately we know that this is a job for the Black Six.
Holy fucking shit. This thing is more gimmicky than Ironside.
The Black Six are 6 guys who ride across the country on bikes, stopping wherever they please, like in this scene where they playfully help an old lady fix up her barn. Could this lady be any more wholesome?
Stack just fell, that's all.
Oh my.
We'll house him right away.
Well, hurry up, fellas. Supper's on the table.
Hey, man, food.
Oh my.
But then we have another scene where they literally tear down a mom and pop restaurant full of racists.
As stated earlier, each actor playing the members of the Black Six are all 70s pro football players. And if you didn't know that off the top of your head, 'cause, well, I didn't, then the opening credit sequence will help you out a little bit.
It shows a close-up of each Black Six biker, lists the actor's name, then below their name in smaller print, it lists what football team they play for.
This isn't a movie. It's a rejected idea for a TV funhouse cartoon.
Gene Washington heads up the cast as Bubba Daniels. The other members of the Black Six include Mercury Morris, Willie Lanier, Carl Eller, Lem Barney, and, of course, Mean Joe Green, who owes me a Coke for this one. Turns out, the kid murdered by the racist white bikers was Washington's younger brother, sending the Black Six to go investigate. Actually, once the murder comes into play, it becomes Washington's vehicle, as he goes about the investigation solo and has more lines than any of the other Black Six members combined.
Where are all the other Black Six members while Washington does his thing? At an arcade? Well, I guess, even though they do freely turn up whenever Washington gets in some hot water. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they're just waiting around the corner, off camera, for some trouble to start brewing?
The investigation leads right to the man who we saw with our own eyes do the murder at the beginning of the movie. Shocking. After finding out that the Black Six, or Gene Washington, is on his tail, the lead honky villain gets a little help as well in a scene that, I kid you not, has him going to a secret hideout full of other white racist bikers, all headed up by a man named Thor, who has a full beard and a Viking helmet. When did this movie turn into Adventures in Babysitting? What the fuck? I was particularly entertained by the out-of-place, emo-looking kid in the background. I think I've seen that guy read poetry at the local coffee shop.
You can name just about any field that is involved with the process of movie making, and it somehow gets fucked up quite noticeably in this movie. I'll bet the caterer even fucked up by supplying Cheez-Its instead of Cheez-Ums for lunch. The script, the acting, the directing, and most noticeably, the editing are all so fucking bad in this movie that I know for a fact that my little brother could do a better job. And guess what? I don't even have a little brother. I'm an only child.
Gene Washington is about as believable as a biker named Bubba as he is an actor. Not to say he does a horrifying job, he hits his one-note performance just fine when the scene actually calls for that particular note, which is about twice in the movie.
We ain't got no hassles. Got the open road, the country air, and the wind. But most of all, no hassles. It's solid. Right on, brother.
Washington seems like he would be good at playing the best friend of a cop in a direct-to-video action movie starring Stephen Baldwin. The rest of the Black Six do the best they can with the whole 2 lines they're given, and as for Mean Joe Green, I preferred it in Lady Coco when he had no lines whatsoever.
Peace and love, brother. Peace and love.
The only bright spot in the movie is this scene where Mercury Morris does a pretty good job with the funny monologue in the racist diner where he uses wit and sarcasm to put down the angry honkies. Fuck, he'd make a better Bubba Daniels than Gene Washington, even though no one should ever have to play Bubba Daniels.
Remember doing those old home movies where you'd have to film everything in sequence and then film over the outtakes, which would still sometimes make it into the movie? Well, that's about how good the editing is here.
The fight in the diner consists of a shot of the people fighting, then a close-up of one of the customers, and we hear no fighting in the background, but cut back to the fight, and we see and hear it clear as day. Most of the other fight scenes last about 30 seconds and end with Mean Joe Green extending his arms to stop people from getting in on the fight. It doesn't look like he's trying to help out his fellow Black Six from being injured. It looks like he's sparing the editor any more hard labor. The ending rumble sequence, which consists of the Black Six shielded by motorcycles and surrounded by white bikers, uses stock sound effects over the action, thankfully, but the ending is cut and presented so poorly that we are honestly not sure what the hell just happened. All we know is that it involves a motorcycle, a flare, and a few explosions.
I seriously thought the Black Six died in the last scene. That's what it fucking looked like.
But the final title card indicating that if a honky hassles a brother, then the Black Six will return suggests something else.
Could be worse, I guess. Could be a PG-13 remake of an 80s slasher film that somehow manages to debut at the top of the box office on opening weekend. Nah. You'd have to be a real idiot to let that happen.
Yes. I know how they are.